కేంద్ర ప్రభుత్వ ఉద్యోగం నీ లక్ష్యమా? 2 తెలుగు రాష్ట్రాల్లో నెంబర్ 1 ఆన్లైన్ కోచింగ్ గా పేరు పొంది ఎంతో మంది విద్యార్థులను ఉద్యోగులుగా చేసిన ఘనత ఒక్క UFJ యాప్ కే సొంతం. SSC GDలో 35 మందికి పైగా ఉద్యోగాలు, అగ్నివీర్ ఆర్మీ రిక్రూట్మెంట్ లో మరో 20 మందికి పైగా ఉద్యోగాలు సాధించడం జరిగింది. రైల్వే, SSC GD, ఆర్మీ, నేవీ, ఎయిర్ ఫోర్స్, NDA, కోస్ట్ గార్డ్ వంటి కోర్సులు UFJ యాప్ లో కలవు. ప్రతి సబ్జెక్ట్ కు తెలుగు మరియు ఇంగ్లీష్ మీడియంలో క్లాసులు, చాప్టర్ వైజ్ అండ్ గ్రాండ్ టెస్టులు కూడా ఇంగ్లీష్ అండ్ తెలుగు మీడియంలో అందిస్తుంది ఒక్క UFJ యాప్ మాత్రమే. మీ డౌట్స్ ని ఫ్యాకల్టీస్ తో క్లియర్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఈసారి నీకు జాబ్ సాధించాలనే పట్టుదల ఉంటే ఇప్పుడే UFJ యాప్ డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకుని కోర్స్ తీసుకుని ప్రిపరేషన్ మొదలుపెట్టు. నీ లక్ష్యాన్ని చేరుకో. పూర్తి వివరాలకు సంప్రదించండి 7674924416.
Right. See here, which one of the following statements regarding force is correct antunnadu? A positive force implies attractive nature. A negative force implies repulsive nature. A positive force can be both attractive and repulsive in nature. And negative force implies attractive in nature. So manaku positive force and negative. It's regarding this is regarding about the electric charges. This is regarding the about electric charges. See here, a negative force annadu. Negative force positive ante manaku positive emautundi repulse avutayi. Positive emautundi repulse avutayi. So negative emaitadi positive repulse avutayi. Negative kuda repulse avutayi. Positive emaitadi attract avutadi. So ikkada chudam. So ikkada emannadu positive force implies attractive in nature. Positive emaitadi negative avutadi. This is not correct. Right. So this is not correct. Then a negative force implies repulsive nature. Negative force. Recording is correct. Negative force implies repulsive. Negative ఏమవుతుంది మనకు? Negative repulsive అవుతుంది. This is okay. A positive force can be both attractive and repulsive. No, it's not correct. Next, a negative force implies attractive in nature. Negative force and negative ఏమవుతుంది? ఎప్పుడైనా మనకు repulsive అవుతుంది. So negative ఏమవుతుంది? Repulse అవుతుంది కాబట్టి we can take this option. This we can take. Negative ఎప్పుడు కూడా మనకి ఏమవుతుంది అంటే repulse అవుతుంది కాబట్టి, right? This is a common question only. Right. Which among the following metals is the best conductor of heat? What are the best conductor of heat? Is always the best conductor of heat is common. Direct question this one. Best conductor of heat is silver. Silver is the best conductor of heat. This next one we will take the copper. First one silver and the second one is we can take as a copper. That's why utensils, the bottom part of the utensils అంటే వంట పాత్రలు, ఆ వంట పాత్రలు బాటమ్ పార్ట్ మన కాపర్ లేయర్ ఉంటుంది నార్మల్. అదే బ్లాక్ కోటింగ్ ఉంటుంది, బ్లాక్ కోటింగ్ ఆర్ కాపర్ లేయర్ ఉంటుంది. ఎందుకు బ్లాక్? ఇట్ విల్ అబ్జర్వ్ ద హీట్ వెరీ ఫాస్ట్లీ అండ్ కాపర్ ఆల్సో విల్ అబ్జర్వ్ ద వెరీ హీట్ వెరీ ఫాస్ట్లీ because it is a good conductor of heat. So what is the best conductor of heat అంటే silver. What is it? Silver. So option is silver, right? Next, a laser is a device that produces a beam of white light. No, it's not. Beam of coherent light. No, coherent beam. So the option is we can say coherent. What is it? Coherent means a single wavelength. Laser having a special characteristics. ఏముంటాయి మన characteristics లో? One of the properties coherence. One of the properties monochromacity. If these are the two properties of the laser. Monochromacity means single wavelength. Coherence means what do you call coherence means nothing but more amount of energy can spend in very less area. So that's why here we can take the coherent beam of light and చెప్పొచ్చు. So this is the answer అని చెప్పొచ్చు. And beam of coherent light అన్న కూడా మనకు సేమ్ ఆన్సర్ వస్తుంది. Very close these two answer. We can take either B or C. No issue. Next, power of lens is given by the following relation. Power of lens formula, direct formula this one. So here What is the formula for the power of lens? P is equals to 1 by F. 1 by F. And I mean F means here what? Focal length. F means what? Focal length. I mean the reciprocal of focal length is called power of lens. The reciprocal of focal length is called power of lens, and there are units also their power of length. They are the diopters. What is that? Diopters. Diopters are the units of the units of the power of lens. Diopters. The reciprocal of focal length is called power of lens. The units of the power of lens is the diopters. So the option is this one. And dash is a science which deals with the study of stars and planets and their motions. A very common study of stars, planets and their motions means what? Astronomy, geology, histology, cytology, kytology. So which one is answer? Astronomy. So this is a common question, make a very well known. So option is astronomy, common question. Then heat energy produced by sun reaches to the earth due to conduction, convection, radiation, air. So here generally see here the heat transmits. The transmission of heat between two objects can be done in three ways. The transmission of heat can be transfer of heat or transmission of heat between two objects. Between two objects can be done in three ways. One is the conduction of heat and convection of heat and radiation of heat. Conduction of heat will takes place mostly in the solids. Mostly in the solids, and that is also without momentum of the molecules. If the heat transfer will takes place without momentum of the molecules, then that type of heat transfer is called conduction of heat, and that will be placed mostly done in the solids. Whereas if the heat transfer will takes place with momentum, actual momentum of the molecules, that you call as a convection of heat. Mostly this convection of heat will be done in the liquids and gases. Liquids and gases will be done. The transfer of heat will be done in the liquids and gases through the convection of heat. Whereas the radiation of heat, but condition ఏంటంటే whether the two takes place the conduction of heat or the convection of heat, the two conditions should be satisfied. Two conditions should be satisfied. What is that? The two objects should have a temperature difference between the two objects, and next one is definitely the two objects should have a thermal contact. The both should be in a thermal contact. అంటే అవి ఒకదానికొకటి ఎలా ఉండాలి? కాంటాక్ట్ లోనే ఉండాలి, లేదా వాటి మధ్యలో ఏదైనా మీడియం అని ఉండాలి. ఈ రెండు కండిషన్ సాటిస్ఫై చేస్తేనే ఐదర్ కండక్షన్ ఆఫ్ హీట్ కానీ కన్వెక్షన్ ఆఫ్ హీట్ కానీ టేక్స్ ప్లేస్ అవుతుంది. సో చెప్పాను కండక్షన్ ఆఫ్ హీట్ జనరల్ గా సాలిడ్స్ లో జరుగుతుంది, కన్వెక్షన్ ఆఫ్ జనరల్ గా లిక్విడ్స్ అండ్ గ్యాసెస్ లో జరుగుతుంది. దెన్ రేడియేషన్ ఆఫ్ హీట్ ఏంటంటే ఇఫ్ ద హీట్ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ విల్ టేక్స్ ప్లేస్ వితౌట్ any medium and without any medium between two objects, that type of heat transfer is called radiation of heat అంటాం. Best example అంటే the sunlight which is reaching to the earth. సో సన్ కి లైట్ కి అంటే సన్ కి ఎర్త్ కి మధ్యలో ఎలాంటి మీడియం లేదు. మేబీ అనుకోవచ్చు మీరు అట్మాస్ఫియర్ ఉంది కదా సార్, అట్మాస్ఫియర్ మనకు మాక్సిమం 300 కిలోమీటర్స్ వరకు ఉంటుంది, లేదా ఇంకా కొంచెం డీప్లీ అంటే వెరీ లైట్ లేయర్స్ ఉంటే మాక్సిమం ఒక 500 or 1000 కిలోమీటర్స్ వరకు ఉంటుంది, తర్వాత ఏమి ఉండదు. ఈవెన్ బట్ వీఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ సన్ ఇస్ లొకేటెడ్ at 150 million kilometers from the earth. So if there is no space and there is no medium between the sun and earth, even though the sunlight are reaching to the earth, so that is because of the radiation of the heat. If the heat transfer will takes place without any medium, that is called as a radiation of heat. Best example మనం ఇంకొకటి కూడా చెప్పొచ్చు. మనం చలికాలంలో మంట దగ్గర కూర్చుంటాం, బాగా చలి పెట్టినప్పుడు మనకు చూడండి ఆ మంటకు మనం కొంత దూరంలో ఉంటాం. ఈవెన్ దో మన బాడీ ఏమవుతుంది, హీట్ ని అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తుంది. ఈవెన్ దో ఎలా అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తుంది సార్, మధ్యలో ఎయిర్ ఉంటుందని చెప్పారు. ఎయిర్ ఇస్ అ బ్యాడ్ కండక్టర్ ఆఫ్ హీట్. Air is a very bad conductor of heat. So even though air is a bad conductor of heat, there is a heat transfer takes place from our body to that fire, that flame. Is it clear? So that is also best example we can take as a radiation of heat, right? So this is about the conduction of heat, convection of heat, radiation of heat. So the answer is what? So which one is? Answer is radiation of heat. Are you clear? So conduction will takes place in the solids, convection will takes place in the liquids and gases, and the radiation of heat will takes place in all substances based on the situation. And when compared to the conduction and convection and radiation, the radiation of heat will takes place very fast. So that only how much amount of time was it taking by the sunlight to reach the earth? That is 500 seconds. 500 seconds. Is it clear? Right? So this is about some information about this question. And convection of heat and radiation of heat and this one. See, which of the following is not due to total internal reflection of light? Not due to total internal reflection of light. Actually, if you have an idea what is meant by total internal reflection of light, total internal reflection of light. Actually, see here. See, this is a surface which will separate the two medium. So suppose this is what you call one is a rarer medium and another one is a denser medium. Rarer medium as well as a denser medium. Okay, here this is a normal drawn to the surface. Normal drawn to the surface. Here, whenever the light rays enter from one medium to another medium, one medium to another medium, when the light rays are traveling from one medium to another medium, at the separation of the media, they will bend. They will bend. That is called as a refraction of light term. Refraction of light, whether the rarer to denser or denser to rarer. Usually, when rarer to denser, when the light rays are traveling from rarer to denser, what will happen? You know very well. What will happen in the denser medium? The speed of light is very less. So that here can happen. Can you see? This is so as the speed of light is very less, the refracted ray will comes towards the normal, towards the normal. When they're traveling from rarer to denser. Whereas if the light rays are traveling from denser to rarer, the light velocity will be increases in the rarer medium. That's why they will move away from the normal. They will move away from the normal when they're traveling from denser to rarer. Because the speed of the light will be increases in the rarer medium. The speed of the light is more always in the rarer medium when compared to the denser medium. So here, so what is happening? Actually, what is mean by total internal reflection of light? And here, when the light is traveling from denser medium to rarer medium, see here, this is an angle called as an incident angle. The angle between the normal and the incident ray. And this is an angle called as a what do you call R? I mean refracted angle. What do you call refracted angle? So this is the incident angle, this is a refracted angle. So when the incident angle here, so when the light is traveling from denser medium to rarer medium at a certain angle, so the refracted angle will be 90 degrees. Refracted angle will be 90 degrees. అంటే అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది రే మనకి ఇలా వస్తుంది. సో ఇలా కాకుండా ఏమవుతుంది? So here this is a surface interface. So the refracted ray will be along the interface. So why? Because here R equal to 90 degrees. So for which angle of incidence, which angle of incidence, the angle of refraction is equal to 90 degrees. That angle only we are called as critical angle. Critical angle we can write as a C, or we can also denote as a IC and kuda rayachu. Okay, for which incident angle, the angle of refraction is equal to 90 degrees. That incident angle is called as a critical angle. That incident angle is called as a critical angle. Is it clear? So here, at that time, the refracted ray is along the interface. So now here, what I am saying here, if the incident angle increases, if the incident angle is greater than the critical angle, if the incident angle greater than the critical angle, instead of refraction, what will happen? The reflection will take place. Ante ee incident ray anedi ee denser medium denser to rarer kelletappudu rarer medium ki enter ayyebodulu emouthundante it will bounce back into the same medium. When the incident angle greater than the critical angle, instead of refraction, what will happen? Reflection will take place. So this is only here. This is called I equal to C antam. This is called I is greater than IC antam. Ante when the incident angle is greater than the critical angle, so here what will happen? Instead of reflection will take place. This is only called as total internal reflection. Here comes to our discussion. So which of the following is not due to internal reflection? Ante sparkling of diamond is because of the refraction. And here propagation of light through optical fibers is a best example for the total internal reflection. Of formation of mirages and mirages ante entante endamavulu antam, that is also best example for total internal reflection. And dispersion ante dispersion means what here? The process of dispersion of light ante if in a white light ray passing through in a prism splits into 7 colors, the process of splitting into 7 colors is called as a dispersion. So this is not related to the internal reflection of light. So what is a not annadu kabatti emouthundani dispersion is answer avuthundi, right? This is a sparkling of diamond is a refraction of light. Propagation also is a best example, total internal reflection of light. Formation, these three are related to total internal reflection of light, whereas the dispersion is not related to that one, right? So this is a good answer. Next, which of the following cannot be explained with the help of a universal law of gravitation? Universal law of gravitation ante enti? If you take any two objects, in the universe, there is a gravitational force between the two objects. There is a gravitational force between the two objects. If you take any two objects in the universe, whether they are mortal, whether they are immortal, one may be in the earth, one may be in the other planet, whatever, whenever, wherever, whatever the objects you can take, wherever the objects you can take, if any two objects, if you take whether they are mortal or immortal, whether they are living creatures or non-living, whatever may be, every two objects, if you take every two objects, there is a gravitational force between the two objects. Gravitational force between the two objects. This gravitational force between the two objects is always directly proportional to the product of the two masses. Always directly proportional to product of the masses of the objects, and also it is always inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the objects. The square of the distance between the objects, directly proportional to the product of the masses of the objects, and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the objects. This is called as universal law of gravitation. మనకి ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ ఏంటి దీనికి? బెస్ట్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఏం చెప్పొచ్చు? ఫార్మేషన్ ఆఫ్ టైడ్స్ కానీ, ఫార్మేషన్ ఆఫ్ టైడ్స్ ఈజ్ ఫార్మింగ్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ద gravitational force, and the planets are revolving around the sun, and it because of the gravitational force only, right? So we'll see some examples. The force that binds us to the earth, yes, gravitational force. Lightning, we may not. Formation of tides, just now I told you. The motion of planets around the sun. So the lightning is not under kabatti manaki em vastundi. So the lightning is answered. So these three, what is it? The force that binds the gravity related to the gravitational force, formation of tides, as well as the motion of the planets around the sun. These three are because of the new gravitational force, and the lightning is a different term. That is a discharge between the two objects and cheppochu, right? Next, which of the following is a secondary cell? The right question here, the nickel cadmium cell. Nickel cadmium cell is a secondary cell. The remaining are called as primary cells. Like Lanchar cell, voltaic cell, mercury cell, H2O2 fuel cell, these are all primary cells, and this is the nickel cadmium cell is a secondary cell. Directly question this one. And next, which of the following instrument is used to measure the depth of the ocean? Bathymeter. This is called, so endoscope anedi manaku oka device vastundi. Endoscope is not one, so it is a diagnostic process. Galvanometer for measuring current and voltage we can see, and flux meter, it is no meaning that. So the bathymeter is a device which is used to measure the depth of the oceans by using ultrasonic waves. By using which waves? Ultrasonic waves. By using ultrasonic waves, it will measure by using bathymeter, right? Alright, so the next one is how much electrical energy? Alright, how much electrical energy in kilowatt hours is consumed in operating 10 5 watts bulbs for 10 hours per day in a month of 30 days. Listen carefully here. Power, actually the units of electrical consumption energy. The units of electrical consumption energy is power consumption is what do you call kilowatt hours. See here, kilowatt hours is the unit of power, electrical power consumption. This 1 kilowatt hour is equal to only manam em antamante here kilowatt hour, right? So 1 kilowatt hour equal to only, generally we will call as a 1 unit antam. మనకు జనరల్ గా ఇళ్లలో మనకు పవర్ బిల్ రాగానే ఏమంటామంటే పవర్ బిల్ ఎక్కువ వచ్చింది తక్కువ వచ్చిందా అని చెక్ చేస్తాం. చెక్ చేసినాక ఎన్ని యూనిట్స్ కన్జ్యూమ్ అయిందని అంటాం. మామూలుగా జనరల్ కాలింది అంటారు, బట్ ఎన్ని యూనిట్స్ కన్జ్యూమ్ అయింది. 1 యూనిట్ అంటే ఎంత అంటే 1 kilowatt hour. 1 kilowatt hour. 1 యూనిట్ అంటే ఎంత అంటే 1 kilowatt hour. సో ఇక్కడ మనం దీన్ని ఎలా ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేస్తాం? So how the electrical power consumption by any device ela chesamante, there is a standard formula. What is it? Here formula is the number of device into its wattage number of device into its wattage, and hours working per day, hours working per day, and మనం జనరల్ గా మంత్లీ పవర్ కన్సంప్షన్ బిల్ మనం 30 days చూస్తాం. సో ఇంటూ 30 సో నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ డివైసెస్ అండ్ ఇట్స్ వాటేజ్ అండ్ ఇట్స్ హౌ మెనీ అవర్స్ పర్ వర్కింగ్ పర్ డే అండ్ ఇంటూ 30 ఎందుకు మంత్ ఆఫ్ 30 కాబట్టి. ఇక్కడ చూడండి ఏమన్నాడు, ఒక 30 రోజులు వాడే ఇచ్చాడు, నెలలో 30 రోజుల్లో వాడే ఇచ్చాడు. సో చూద్దాం. సో హియర్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ డివైస్ హౌ మెనీ ఆర్ దేర్, 10 5 watts bulb అన్నాడు అంటే 10, we have a formula 10 into wattage 5 watts 5 into, okay, how many hours per day working, 10 hours they are working 10 hours, okay now how many are there, how much electrical energy is consumed in operating 10 5 watts bulbs, 10 5 watts bulbs, how many for working 10 hours per day and into how many under 30 into 30. See here 10 into 5 into 10 into 30, that again we can write 10 tens are 100, 10 tens are 100 into 5 into 30, I mean 150. So that I can write 150 is 0 is 0. So 15,000 watt hours. This is a 15,000 what do you call kilowatt hours, 15,000 watt hours, sorry, this is 15,000 watt hours, 15,000 watt hours. Then if you divide by this here, if you divide by 1000, 15,000 watt hours ని మనం 1000 తో డివైడ్ చేస్తే మనకి ఏమొస్తుంది, కిలో వాట్ అవర్స్ లోకి వస్తుంది. కిలో ఎందుకంటే కిలో అంటే 1000 కాబట్టి 3 zeros క్యాన్సిల్ అయితే ఏమవుతుంది, మనకు టోటల్ గా 15 watt hours వస్తుంది, I mean 15 kilowatt hours, 15 kilowatt hours, right? So this is about the option is 15 kilowatt hours, 15 kilowatt hours. So number of devices into its wattage and how many hours per working per day and into 30, how many hours working per day into 30. So this is about some small information, right? A bullet just sticks on a fixed wooden board when it is fired from a gun. The kinetic energy of the bullet is mainly converted into, కామన్ క్వశ్చన్ ఇది ఏమన్నాడు, ఒక గన్ నుంచి కాల్చబడిన బుల్లెట్ అనేది ఒక ఫిక్స్డ్ వుడెన్ బోర్డ్ మీద ఫిక్స్ అయింది అనమాట, స్టిక్స్ అయింది. సో ద కైనటిక్ ఎనర్జీ ఏమవుతుంది జనరల్ గా, సో హియర్ ఓన్లీ హీట్ ఎనర్జీ, నో కైనటిక్ ఎనర్జీ ఫర్ ద వుడెన్ బోర్డ్, నో ఓన్లీ సౌండ్ ఎనర్జీ, నో సౌండ్ అండ్ హీట్ ఎనర్జీ. ద ఆప్షన్ ఇస్ సౌండ్ అండ్ హీట్ ఎనర్జీ, సౌండ్ ఎనర్జీ కన్వర్ట్ అవుతుంది, హీట్ ఎనర్జీ కూడా సౌండ్ వస్తుంది కాబట్టి. Right. So when a light undergoes a reflection, the velocity of the reflected light is always, when a light undergoes reflection, the velocity of the reflected light is always less than the velocity of the incident light. Reflection జరిగినప్పుడు మనకు స్పీడ్ ఆఫ్ లైట్ లో ఎలాంటి చేంజ్ ఉండదు, ఓన్లీ రిఫ్రాక్షన్ జరిగినప్పుడు మాత్రమే మనకి రిఫ్లెక్షన్ అనేది సేమ్ మీడియం. రిఫ్లెక్షన్ ఎప్పుడు మనం రిఫ్లెక్షన్ జరుగుతుంది అని చెప్తాం. ఇక్కడ ఒక నిమిషం, see here, see this is in a surface, see there is a light was incident on this. So now here as it is in a this is in a reflecting surface, so it was bounced back into the same medium. When a light was incident on a surface, if it is bounced back into the same medium, that is called as the reflection. అంటే సేమ్ మీడియం లోకి రిఫ్లెక్ట్ అవుతుంది. సేమ్ మీడియం లోకి రిఫ్లెక్ట్ అయినప్పుడు మనకు స్పీడ్ ఆఫ్ లైట్ అనేది చేంజ్ కాదు. when the light is traveled from one medium to another medium, at that time only the speed of light will be changes. So the option is less than the velocity of the incident light, no, not correct, equal to the velocity of the incident light, right? చెప్పాను కదా ఎప్పుడు కూడా ఈక్వల్ ఉంటుంది. గ్రేటర్ దాన్ అన్నాడు, డిపెండింగ్ ఆన్ ద మెటీరియల్ అన్నాడు, నో ఇట్ నాట్ డిపెండింగ్ ఆన్ ద మెటీరియల్, ఇట్ నాట్ గ్రేటర్, ఇట్ నాట్ లెస్, ఇట్ విల్ బి ఆల్వేస్ ఈక్వల్ టు ద velocity of the light, right? Okay.